Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here on FingerLakes1.com on Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. I'm joined here in the studio with FingerLakes1.com President Jim Sinicropi, lead news editor Josh Durso, and network administrator Jessamy Uticone. Welcome back to the studio.
Hey, hi.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. In the next half hour, we'll be talking about this week's top local news, your best bet weekend events here in the Finger Lakes, the weekend weather outlook, sports lineup, and more, including our top local photos from the past week. Jim, you went to a unique restaurant in Pittsford this past week.
Yeah, we went to a place called The Kitchen in Pittsford, and it's one of those, it's like a 9-course deal. So
Nice.
What they did was and there's a little shot of the logo in the exterior.
Ooh, it looks nice.
Everybody sits at the same time. They sit at 5:30 and 7:30, and they then deliver you 9 courses one at a time. The chef preps it on a table in front of the whole restaurant, and they pair a different wine with it. And it was good. It was fun. The food was amazing, but I was not fully satisfied because the portions were so small. So, like, one of the final portions was duck, and they smoked it in front of you in this glass thing, and it was delicious. But I only had 3 bites of it, and it was gone. You know, I could have ate 40 bites.
Right.
So it was
that's disappointing.
and it was expensive. But it was an
bet.
experience, and they do something similar at the FLX table in Geneva, I think is the name of that place.
Yep.
Finger Lakes table, FLX table.
FLX table, yeah.
And I think they do some things like that at the Culinary Center too. But it was fun. I'd do it again. Well, actually, maybe I wouldn't do it again at that exact same place. But I liked the format, and it was fun to dine like that, I guess.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Right. Well, did they just pour like a little tasting for each?
No, they gave you like at least a half a glass. So,
wow.
you know, by the end of the 9th course. And like they had
It's dangerous.
they had a raw seafood dish early on that was, they gave you sake with it. And then so it wasn't all just wine, but mostly wine, different wines. Some international wines and some Finger Lakes wines.
That's what I was going to ask.
But
Gotta have Finger Lakes.
A lot of wines, yeah. Easy to get a little buzz going there during dinner when they bring you 9 glasses of wine.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't go so hungry.
Yeah,
that way
right.
you are full.
Yeah.
And you have some kind of substance in your stomach before you try to drink all that wine.
You were busy this weekend in Rochester. Now it's Rochester Fashion Week that you were modeling at, and that's become a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's I believe this was their 7th year, and I've been doing it for 3 years now. But they raise funds for the Center for Youth in Rochester, and last year I believe they raised about between $25,000 or $50,000 for the Center for Youth, and then this year they raised over $625,000. Oh,
Dang!
It's so much fun. That was a designer in Rochester who took old jeans and reconstructed the denim into, this whole collection of male and female clothing. Obviously, my skirt isn't denim.
No, it doesn't look denim.
But it was this really cool, jacket. I don't know. It was really neat. And Nathaniel's original is his line.
So when you are backstage ready to be the next one walking out, do you get nervous?
Every time.
Every time.
And I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for almost 5 years now, but every time I get that adrenaline pumping. Well, it's just like here. I still get nervous speaking on camera, and,
Well, you wouldn't
It's
know
good,
it.
though, I think.
Yeah, no.
That's why I trip over my words half the time.
I agree. For stuff like that, if you're not a little nervous, then you don't care or like it that much.
Yeah, I'm human, so.
Do you get nervous of tripping or just general nerves?
No, I think it's just general nerves. I don't even know why.
Did you ever fall on the runway?
I fell down. I was the first one to open a show, and it was outside. And they had these metal bleacher-type steps, so we had to walk up them in front of everybody. And so I was the first one. They opened the show, and I walked up them just fine, down the runway, stop, pose, go back. and they weren't locked in place, so they were tilted down. So then when I took a step down in 6-inch heels, my ankle literally rolled to the side, and I kind of tuck and rolled. And when I went back out there, I took a bow. I didn't like pretend like that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, that's the way to do it.
So, but it didn't scare me, but my ankle was messed up for quite some time.
It's too bad.
Yeah. But no, I don't think I'm scared of falling. I don't really know why I get nervous. Maybe it's just adrenaline.
Yeah, no, it is. Like I say, if you care about something and it's exciting, you've been looking forward to it, that you're naturally going to have those nerves.
Yeah.
When I play golf in a tournament that I care about, I always get nervous. And
do you?
And it can work against you or for you. I like to think of the nerves as if I wasn't feeling nervous, then I wouldn't care.
That's true.
And so I try to use it to play better.
Yeah,
but
that's true. And a lot of times, like this guy, he spent time. I mean, I can't imagine how much time he spent on designing this collection. So you do, and each specific designer or boutique wants you to walk a certain way, pose a certain way most of the time. So you want to be able to portray whatever it is that they're looking for and represent their brand in the best light possible. So I know it sounds silly, but
no, they put a lot of work into it, and it's all on you. Literally, it's all on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice one. You ever do any runway modeling, Josh?
No, I've never dabbled.
Oh, we may have to change that then.
So here we are, middle of October, and we've had great weather, and now things might change a little, huh?
I know. We've definitely been spoiled with an incredible summer of weather. On Tuesday, highs pushed into the 80s, which is just crazy. Could quite possibly be the last time we see that until May. In fact, things are going to take a sharp downward turn starting on Thursday, which will be a total washout. Then Friday will be another washout with a nearly 100% chance of rain and a high of just 56 degrees.
Yikes. Gets colder, though.
Yes, more rain is expected Saturday with a 60% chance of showers under mostly cloudy skies and a daytime high in the mid-40s. Sunday will be the best day of the weekend under partly sunny skies, but still cool with a high in the lower 50s. As always, check out the latest local forecast and live radar at our local weather center at fingerlakes1.com. So, yeah, bring your umbrellas everywhere you go. Wear your rain boots.
Jackets.
Rain jackets.
Heavy jacket Saturday. Maybe a winter jacket on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm ready.
You're ready for it?
My pea coat is hung by an adorable pair on the rack.
Okay, good. Well, you were prepared. Josh, fill us in on what's going on in the news.
All right, so we've got a few stories. Cuyahoga County District Attorney Butelman announced the sentencing verdict in the fatal DWI crash that killed 18-year-old Chloe Calhoun from Auburn. Dane Schneider was sentenced to 7 to 24 years prison after killing the 18-year-old Auburn teen in July. He pled guilty to a variety of charges, including vehicular manslaughter, vehicular homicide, in August. The big story that came out of sentencing, though, was the fact that he had been shown a lot of leniency over the years. This was actually his 6th DWI charge.
Oh my gosh.
He had 2 aggravated DWI charges, and this was the first time that he will have served any jail time for any of the DWI charges.
Wow. His inability to correct his behavior cost a teenager their life.
Right.
That's the real story that came out of that, and the emotional plea from the parent and aunt of Chloe was that basically, all of this could have been avoided if he was simply.
If he had killed someone the first time, you could almost feel bad for the guy. But 6 times?
6 times.
Right.
First one was at 17 years old.
This isn't harsh enough.
And every sort of, the way it worked out, every few years he was getting a DWI. And his license was revoked. One twist, I guess, out of this was there's a DMV clause in New York State where after a certain number of DWIs, which I believe 5 is the threshold in this case, you receive a lifetime ban on driving privileges.
But that's not going to stop these guys from getting behind a wheel of a car?
His license had been revoked since 2011 when the accident happened. He collided into the back of her car at approximately 99 miles an hour, according to the individuals who reconstructed. That said, the DA said that he could have easily stopped before, even at 99 miles an hour, he could have easily stopped because her vehicle came into view more than a half mile up the road. So just a total lapse, total travesty, really, really sad. One positive, I guess, if there is a positive to come out of this, a benefit dinner is going to be held this weekend in Auburn. The details on that are in our story on fingerlakes1.com. The money raised there is going to go to a scholarship in her name, in her memory.
That's nice.
Another piece of interesting news for residents in Geneva specifically. This one's a little bit concerning. The DEC held a meeting last night in Geneva outlining the steps they're going to be taking to remedy toxic soil. The Geneva Foundry operated at 43 Jackson Street from 1866 to 1988 on a 2.5-acre parcel. Now the DEC says more than 55 acres of soil in the area, which includes more than 100 homes, are in a danger zone. More than 15 times the advised limits of lead and arsenic have been found in the soil in this particular zone. The DEC is going to be spending $16.25 million to clean up the city of Geneva, I believe, is going to be on the hook for a few $100,000 out of that.
Yeah.
But overall, one of the criticisms has been there's no company to go back after now to correct.
Right.
So this is essentially a situation where the taxpayers in New York State are going to be taking care of this, whether they want to or not. More than 100 were there on last night. They were speaking about it. One resident who lives in that exact area called their home Ground Zero, sort of a reflection of how desperate the situation is there. DEC has said basically, if you have a garden, raise it next year. Don't plant in the ground unless you plan on replacing at least 10 inches of soil from the surface down.
Which, no thank you. I wouldn't.
Don't let your kids play in the yard. If you're doing something in the yard and you even touch anything below the grass,
put your hand in your mouth.
Yeah, avoid that at all costs. Wash your hands thoroughly. It's just basically be on high alert.
Geez, you think about little babies crawling around in the grass, and of course they're going to put their hands in their mouths, and all these years. Oh, that's terrible. Well,
terrible world we live in.
They'll get that fixed.
In other news, Crestwood subsidiary Finger Lakes LPG Storage was hit with multiple fines. The announcement came yesterday from the EPA. The fines were for Clean Air Act violations, which are the rules governing chemical safety and risk management at facilities like those storing gas. Finger Lakes LPG will pay $154,000 for failing hazard identification standards and equipment safety requirements. The Clean Air Act also requires the companies like these have plans in place should an accidental release of chemicals exist, and they did not apparently, or they did not measure up to the EPA's standard of quality.
So how does this affect their ongoing storage of gas beneath Seneca Lake? It doesn't?
I think it has very little impact because you're really just talking about a violation of code, and really what you're talking about at this point with the Crestwood debate is a political one.
Right.
It's up to the powers to be in our political system, in Reading, specifically the town of Reading. That's sort of where it's centered around, and that's going to be the deciding factor. But that's the news. Give us something good to talk about.
Right? I have all kinds of good things to talk about. That's my job.
Okay. What's
I'm
going on?
the light to your dark, Josh.
All right. I like that. The yin to the yang.
That's right. Here I come.
Gotta have some balance here.
Here's what's happening this weekend in the Finger Lakes. Over 30 New York State craft breweries and distilleries for the annual Finger Lakes Beer Festival on Saturday and Sunday at Watkins Glen International Raceway. Ready for that, Josh?
I'm going to be there.
Are you ready to enjoy live music, food, and plenty of local beer at this popular event? Learn more online at www.theglen.com. Follow the event all weekend long on social media with the hashtag BeerFest.
I was going to say
FLX Beer Fest.
they also have a very good Facebook page
FLX
for anyone
Beer
looking
Fest.
for information on that.
That's become a signature event
Yeah.
for the region.
Yeah.
Are you really going, Josh?
Yeah, I'm really going.
Nice.
I'm not a Jessamy. I'm not going to say I'm going to something, and
We'll see. Prove it.
I'll be there, and there will be pictures.
be
to
hashtagging.
prove it.
Hashtag
As they say.
There will be.
Hashtag it. What about this one, Josh? A unique event on Saturday in Dundee, as Fulkerson Winery showcases the work of 5 women who have written books based on their love for the Finger Lakes region.
Ooh, that's
The featured guest is Kristen Higgins, a New York Times, USA Today, Publishers Weekly, and international best-selling author, who publishes a series of novels that are based out of the Finger Lakes. Interesting. She will be accompanied by Mary Pat Hyland, Laura Guilford Adams, Roz Murphy, and Katie O'Boyle, 4 local women who have and continue to write books that are inspired by the Finger Lakes.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. There will be wine and light fare to enjoy, and you can learn more at fulkersonwinery.com.
Light
That
fare
sounds
is
cool.
great.
That does sound cool. That's something
You're a
different
big fan
to
of
do.
light fare?
Big fan.
Jim was complaining about the
I was
light
gonna
fare.
say.
And finally here, this is the last event I'm going to talk about. The Inn on the Lake in Canandaigua is celebrating Oktoberfest on Sunday from noon to 4. Celebrate the changing of the seasons under the big tent. Featuring live entertainment, dancing, German-style buffet, wine and beer. Pre-sale tickets are $25, $30 at the door. The ticket price does not include the cost of beverages. That you'll have to cover yourself, as per usual.
Yes.
As always, more events are available to be browsed upon our website at fingerlakes1.com.
Awesome. Oktoberfest. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
there.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
There
Three-
wasn't a
three good
single
choices.
Spooky thing in this whole list.
Yep. I know. No spoon.
Well,
No, it's
next
pretty
week will be our Halloween episode, right? Next week
Yeah.
it'll be the 27th, so the Halloween will be on Sunday, that means, this year?
Monday, I
Monday.
believe.
Monday?
Yes.
Yeah, Monday.
All
I
right.
think trick or treating's Monday.
We'll bring some spookiness next week.
Are you wearing a costume, Josh?
Spooky.
I don't think
Next
so.
week for the show?
I don't think so.
we
Maybe
all
I'll just wear a
dressing up next
costume all week.
All right, Jim, fill us in on sports.
Sports. The Buffalo Bills will be looking for their 5th straight win, if you can
Amazing.
believe that,
Amazing.
after starting out 0-2. They're 5 straight wins. If they win this week, when they head south to face AFC rival Miami at 1 o'clock on Sunday, that game will be televised on CBS. And the Syracuse Orange will visit Boston College on Saturday at 12:30 at Chestnut Hill, excuse me. The game will be carried by the ACC network, which means it should be on MSG or Yes Network locally. And, we really shocked the world
Oh, my goodness.
last week when we beat Virginia Tech, our first win over a ranked team since 2012, and probably one of my top most hated schools and programs in the country. And second, I like Boston College less than Virginia Tech, so I'd like to beat those jerks too on Saturday. And I don't know if any of you caught Dino Baber's locker room speech following the Virginia Tech game, but
I
it was
did.
awesome.
It
Passionate.
was inspiring.
It was
Ooh.
awesome. So I'd recommend that. You can go, if you go to the Syracuse football page on Finger Lakes 1, you'll see it there. And you'll also could just search it up on YouTube. Baber's locker room speech.
Awesome.
It's great. The 3-2 Cornell Big Red football team will be at Brown on Saturday for a noon tilt. The 5-1 Hobart Statesmen will host Springfield at noon at Boswell Field in Geneva, and the 3-3 Ithaca Bombers will host Morrisville State at 1 o'clock at Butterfield Stadium in Ithaca. And sectional play begins for area high school football teams this week in Connors and Ferris Bowl action on Thursday night for the teams that didn't make sectionals. It'll be Waterloo at Penn Yan, Newark at Tri-Town, South Seneca Romulus Trumansburg, Dansville at Minders, and then also there's a Connor and Ferris game on Sunday. Dundee's in action. Now the rest of this is actual sectional games. Quarterfinal sectional game set for Friday in Class AA. East Rochester /Soda/ Word of Inquiry plays at number one seed Victor at 7 o'clock. In Class B, Palmax at Wayne. Midlakes is at Hornell, and Geneva will travel to face the Livonia Bulldogs. In Class D, Lions is at number 1 seed Alexander, and Avon is at 2 seed Clyde Savannah. And then on Saturday, In Class A, it's Wilson at Canandaigua for a 2 o'clock kick. In Class C, it's Marcus Whitman at Bishop Kearney for a 1 o'clock kick. And also at 1 o'clock in Class D, Cuba Rushford at Red Jacket. Tons of high school sectional soccer action through the weekend as well. You can get all the brackets for the boys and girls sectional action at the sports page at fingerlakes1.com, and we'll have all the scores throughout the weekend at fingerlakes1.com.
Awesome. Well, good luck to everyone.
Good luck. Well, there's got to be winners and
You
losers.
can't wish them all luck.
Yeah.
Well, you can wish them all luck and hope they play
Hope
their
nobody
best.
gets hurt.
Time.
Let's
Whether
hope
they
nobody
win
gets
or
hurt.
lose.
There you go.
Yes, here we go. Well, let's take a look at our top local photos from this past
Oh,
week.
they're so good this week. So many this
So
time
many.
of year. Yeah.
I know. Well, it's gorgeous out. Leaves are turning. All right, first up is from Nancy Jacobs. She surprised a deer inspecting the grapes in a vineyard along Skyline Drive on Cuca Lake
Inspecting.
Bluff
Yeah.
on
Surprised.
Tuesday afternoon.
More like eating.
Cute. Shelley Lannon captured this tree in Seneca Castle that was almost ready to show her full fall color on Tuesday afternoon in Ontario County.
Hard to capture a tree, Josh.
It's really tough to
They're
capture a
quick.
tree.
It's starting. Shelley also spotted these doe as they were grazing near Route 14 South between Penyan and Geneva on Wednesday evening.
They're highly aware of her. No surprise.
This impressive eagle statue is created
This
by
is great.
James Seaman and can be seen on the north end of the Montezuma National Wildlife Refuge near the New York State Thruway. The eagle has a 21-foot wingspan and was installed to commemorate 40 years of the Bald Eagle program
That's
at
badass.
Montezuma.
Look at that thing.
Thanks to William O'Hara for the photo. I actually saw this.
Did you?
Did you?
From the
Yeah.
Thruway?
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Is it?
I thought, I'd never noticed
Yeah.
it before, so I was happy to see that is why. It's
For scale and perspective,
beautiful.
look at the guy's hat that's working on it. See in the bottom of the photo, there's
Yeah.
a guy in a hat.
That
Look
thing's
how,
awesome.
yeah, that's big,
Yeah,
Wow.
impressive. That's nice.
yeah.
Nice hat also.
It really, it really is quite a statement just driving down the thruway. So, great job on that. Michelle DeSanto enjoyed a great day for a walk last week on the canal path in Loch Berlin in the town of Galen.
Look at that.
So pretty. Peaceful Pine Lake sat serene for Nancy L. Wright on Saturday afternoon as the autumn colors took hold in Yates County.
Nice.
Love that shot.
That's awesome.
On Saturday afternoon, a new Lyons Erie Canal mural was dedicated at the intersection of
Oh, hold on.
Montezuma.
This one is, you missed one. This,
Oh, did I?
Yeah, Nancy also
I'm
got
sorry.
this one.
Impressive
Nancy
mural.
also shared this scene as wildflowers glisten in the warm sun near an old shack in Yates County on Saturday afternoon.
Old shack
Love an
photo.
old Jack. That's great.
Think of the things that shack has seen.
That's a cool shot.
Now,
On Saturday afternoon, a new Lyons Erie Canal mural was dedicated at the intersection of Montezuma and Geneva Streets. The mural, mounted on a former blacksmith shop, shows the route of the canal under the Montezuma Street Bridge and a northwestern direction through the village. Thanks to Robert Stopper for this photo.
Cool
That's
mural.
awesome.
That is so cool.
That's so awesome.
Wow. Very neat. Autumn wraps up this season's closing of South Point Marina as seen in this photo by Lori Dirks of Irondequoit Bay on Sunday. Beautiful.
yeah,
That
that might be my
reflection.
favorite one of the week.
Yeah, I just love that reflections.
Good job, Lori Dirks.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, coming up next, Shelley Lannon sent us a shot of an almost full hunter's moon seen coming up over Waddell Hill in Clifton Springs Saturday evening.
Guys, check out that moon Saturday.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yep.
see it.
I tried to get a picture of it myself, but
Tough.
in town with houses in the
Yeah.
street,
Right.
should have gone down to the lake.
Well, and it always looks so much smaller in a
And
photo.
the photo, yeah.
You know, it's
It
not
was.
the same,
it
but
was
that's
impressive.
beautiful.
Big shout out to Shelley. She is constantly
Yeah.
sharing pictures with us.
Yeah,
And
Shelley, Rachel
always.
Burkholder, Lori Dirks, Nancy J. All these people
I
we mentioned are
know.
regular contributors.
Yeah.
And they're really talented. It's nice that they share these views. We get
Yeah.
to take a little tour of the whole region every
Right.
week with these photos. So,
Yeah.
Right.
and there's more.
And there's more. We end with a pair of photos from Nancy Jacobs from Livingston County. Oh, the first shows a farmer raking hay amid the fall foliage reds and golds in spring water in Livingston County on Friday afternoon. I love that.
That is nice. I like this. One's pretty cool too.
And when Nancy was out for a drive on Saturday morning, she came across the restored schoolhouse number 17 on Party Hollow Road in Springwater. Erected in 1875, the building replaced an older school which had burned. It has been known by the romantic and colorful name of Punky Hollow Schoolhouse.
That's adorable.
The Richardsons were early settlers in the area. The male head of the house was, for some unknown reason, saddled with the title of Punky, hence Punky Hollow.
I see.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, great photos, everyone. And if you'd like to share your local photos from across the region, click on the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right of our homepage at fingerlakes1.com. There's a good chance you'll see your photo in next week's show.
Absolutely. I found this old shack photo right here.
Old shack photos. I don't know if that applies to the Finger Lakes. All right, Jim, what are our network highlights here at fingerlakes1.com?
Okay, quickly as we're running up against time here. 2 new shows this week. On Tuesday, the first episode of the Melissa Killalay Show aired, and she had 3 guests, and she also had some interviews with a bunch of people around the region, and the show is kind of to focus on some of the positive news that goes on around here and some of the inspiring individuals, and she's really great. I really like this show, and I'd recommend anybody to check that out. It's posted obviously at fingerlakes1.tv on our YouTube channel and at fingerlakes1.com. The Melissa Killalay Show.
Yes.
And then tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, new podcast, a new member of our family of motorsports podcasts, which are wildly popular, whether it's the 31st Lap or the Crash Course Demo Derby. This one is called the Final Round Drag Racing Podcast. So,
awesome.
You know, if you like drag racing, you'll like this show. But so this is a third podcast hosted by Chris Marquardt, who really has the whole motorsport scene in the Finger Lakes on lockdown. Hara Weber had Menzo Case and Katie McIntyre in studio. Kenny's Two Pennies had a new episode this week. The Crash Course podcast was new on Tuesday night. And Inside the FLX, who's our guest tomorrow?
We don't have a show this week because
no show
we
this
have
week.
the debate coming up on
Next
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Next Tuesday, Town of Seneca Falls candidate debate live in studio. 4 of them. We got confirmation from all 4 yet?
4 of them coming in.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
The issues will be debated.
The gloves will be coming
You're
off.
moderating.
I am moderating.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Live at
Don't back
8
down.
o'clock.
I was
Live at 8
born for
o'clock.
this.
I know you were.
Next Tuesday, live at 8.
Yes.
8 o'clock.
We'll be doing live at 8 o'clock.
Don't back down.
All right. Well, that's about it. And Jess, you have about 1 minute and 30 seconds to take us out of here.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us live today on FLX Weekly. And remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe. And if you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com.
Please send us a line, comment below our video, share us on Twitter
Give us a thumbs
and
up.
Facebook. Yeah,
Let us know
like
you're
us.
Or listening.
This is the best half-hour weekly variety show in the Finger Lakes. There's no doubt about that.
That's it, man.
We have fun doing it, that's for sure.
So-
We'll be back live next Wednesday afternoon at 12:30 for another edition of FLX Weekly. Enjoy the rest of your week and another all weekend in the Finger Lakes.